Someone who's into zodiac signs. Well, apparently everything you know about zodiac signs could actually be out of date. We'll explain.
Hey there, everybody. Good morning. I'm Melvin Robert. The MTV Video Music Awards were last night. We have all the highlights for you, the performances. Plus, we're going to take a look at the fashion. Then later this morning, we're boldly going where no one has gone before with the stars of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. All that and more coming up in your entertainment report.
Okay, and we are looking at cooler temperatures all the way through the week. Those numbers are going to be dropping quite a bit, especially in the Valley of the Inland Empire. We're going to be down maybe about 10 degrees in some areas compared to what we had last week. But then it warms up a little bit over the weekend. High today at the beach is 76, 86 downtown Los Angeles. San Fernando Valley, breezy, 96 degrees, 86 degrees for Orange County Inland Empire, up to 94, and the high desert, 92 degrees. Ginger with traffic.
We're just looking at all the things that are starting to pop up for your ride and some of the things that are still in lane. So first of all, we'll take you over to a spot where it's already kind of busy, right? 405 freeway, if your plans take you onto that northbound side. It looks like it's going to be tough in both directions, but at Normandy Avenue, they are going with a wreck that's still here. And you can see how busy it is, whether your drive takes you onto the stretch of the 405 heading north or southbound side. 91 freeway is tough, and then I'll mention something on that 105 here in just a second. As we look to the 10 east at about Via Verde, it sounds like maybe some kind of fire has developed, but maybe it started off as a stall. Everyone outside the vehicle trying to figure out what happened, whose fault it is. We're looking at this wide map of LA, but I do want to mention that 105 East at Central Avenue actually looked pretty bad when I checked it earlier. So the thing is, we have this wreck. It's they said it was a bus involved in it as well, so maybe they're going to have to get another bus on scene. But even the units trying to get here, they've been stuck in traffic, okay? Some heavy delays that continue here, so get ready for that slow ride. Again, 105 eastbound side right at about Central Avenue. We're going to watch all these things for your drive as it is so active in some spots. I'll send it back to you, Frank.
Ginger, thank you. President Trump promising more immigration raids in sanctuary cities. He suggested over the weekend that Chicago would be the next major city after he sent the National Guard to Washington, D.C. last month. KTLA's Jacqueline Sarkeesian in the newsroom with more. Jacqueline, good morning.
Hi, Frank. Good morning to you as well. President Trump is saying the mission is to make America's third largest city safer. Now, his exact plan of action is unclear at this point, but it's already being reported immigration agents have been seen in Chicago making arrests. So take a look at this. The president posting on social media earlier this morning saying, quote, Washington, D.C. is a safe zone in just a matter of weeks. He then goes on to thank himself and questions who should be next. Last week, there was a massive immigration raid at a Hyundai manufacturing plant in Georgia. Hundreds of people were detained, many of them South Korean nationals that are said to be in the country illegally. Hyundai owns the plant, but is claiming none of the workers were directly employed by the company. The president of South Korea reached a deal with the United States to release those detained, saying it is chartering a plane to bring them home. This raid has been the largest sweep so far by the Trump administration, and according to Border Czar Tom Homan, just a preview of what's to come. Chicago officials have been monitoring days of several warnings after President Trump posted this photo on social media. The post is a picture of himself going to battle with the phrase referencing the 1979 movie Apocalypse Now. It has generated a lot of commotion, Trump later explaining they are not going to war.
We're going to clean up our cities. We're going to clean them up so they don't kill 5 people every weekend. That's not war. That's common sense.
To suggest that there's no crime problem here, ask the 54 people shot over Labor Day weekend. Ask the families of those 8 beautiful people who were killed on the streets of Chicago, whether or not we have a crime problem here.
Details about the president's plan to send troops to the Windy City have been pretty hush-hush, but widely condemned by the governor of Illinois and Chicago mayor. The governor is slamming the president by posting on social media saying Trump isn't a strong man. He's a scared man and that the state will not be intimidated by a wannabe dictator. Chicago is bracing for what's to come with thousands of people protesting over the weekend and forcing several public events to be postponed. Advocates are also handing out flyers reminding people of their rights if they're contacted by an immigration agent.
Obviously, there is a lot of concern throughout the city, throughout festival and celebration event organizers. Many have canceled, unfortunately, because they're afraid that immigration, that ICE agents, that the National Guard and other federal agents might come to Chicago and other cities throughout the nation. And so the fear is real.
Department of Homeland Security has also announced a new federal immigration enforcement effort in Massachusetts, which has been focused on deporting criminals who have entered the country illegally. It's believed the operations happening there and the one to come in Chicago are being modeled after the raids that took place here in LA over the summer. Reporting from the newsroom, Jacqueline Sarkeesian, KTLA 5 News.
Jacqueline, thank you. An investigation is underway after a small plane crash landed in the middle of a fruit field in Valencia. It happened just after 5 p.m. yesterday on the old road near Henry Mayo Drive. CHP officers say the single-engine Cessna landed nose first with its tail in the air. There was no fire or smoke. The two people on board were able to get out on their own and were not injured. No word on why the plane came down.
LA Times is reporting this morning that California's home insurer of last resort, the FAIR Plan, continues to deny smoke damage claims from the January wildfires despite regulatory action and a loss in court. The LA Times analysis reviewed communications between the FAIR Plan and policyholders following a court ruling in June that deemed language used in the denials was illegal. The insurer initially required policyholders to show their property suffered, quote, permanent physical changes. The Times says the FAIR Plan changed the wording last month to say distinct, demonstrable, and physical alteration. The change, the Times says, enabled the FAIR Plan to deny smoke damage claims. California Fair Plan Association said it is reviewing the decision but does not expect to appeal.
There is ongoing concern about fires being sparked by the homeless in the Sepulveda Basin. Today, crews will be on site cleaning up encampments and brush in the area. KTLA's Alina Bovian live in Encino now with the latest. Alina, good morning.
Jess, good morning. Well, expediting the entire process here really is the main goal because according to one study, it's going to take about 3 weeks to clean an acre of land here along the Sepulveda Basin. And we have about 600 acres, so you do the math. But take a look behind me, just driving by along Burbank. It's tough to imagine just how thick the vegetation is out here. We were told that cleanup efforts were slated to start at 6:30 this morning. We have not seen crews out here yet, but driving along, you really do see all the encampments, all the trash, the tents, and according to experts, they say about 700 fires have been reported here in just the last year and a half alone. The last one reported on September 4th. Now, currently an estimated 200 to 300 homeless people live along the Sepulveda Basin. A few weeks ago, the Encino Neighborhood Council held a public safety meeting to express some of the concerns regarding cleanup here, essentially saying that it's simply taking too long. Most residents frustrated with the fact that they are not expediting the process and that people living here along the encampments are essentially living in the middle of a tinderbox. So far, the city has cleared 1 acre, and the process must be done properly considering health hazards, booby traps, and the thick vegetation, not to mention the lack of manpower. Last year, Governor Gavin Newsom also issued an executive order directing cities to clean up encampments. Recently, the governor announcing he is now forming a task force to remove dangerous encampments and to provide services to those living in them. Now, back out here live, this has been an ongoing issue here for many, many years, but now essentially people are paying more attention considering all the fires that we have, and they certainly do not want to see one here get to a point where it is out of control. So cleanup efforts certainly underway, but we are waiting to see crews show up here this morning. I'm Lena Bevin reporting live in Sherman Oaks, KTLA 5 News.
All right, Alina, thank you for that. New at 8, the ticketing process for the 2026 FIFA World Cup begins this week.
Tickets will be sold in phases. The first phase of ticket sales will open this Wednesday. It is a 10-day pre-sale lottery that gives people the opportunity to buy up to 4 tickets apiece for as many as 10 matches. Fans who want to be a part of Wednesday's lottery, they must register their interest by creating a FIFA ID. After entering a draw, fans who make it out of that lottery at random will be allowed to purchase tickets beginning October 1st. There will also be 2 additional lottery phases happening later this year.
8:09, Mr. Krisky, what is the weather? Are we in? We're not in the fall yet.
No.
We're still in the summer. And
yep.
You say summer here always continues through October.
October, exactly. Although we're going to have a cooler week. for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then it warms up once again over the weekend.
Okay.
But cooler means slightly below normal, actually, which is very nice. Because while you were away, man, the heat was on. We were talking about 100 degrees almost every day in the valley.
But it was a dry heat.
It's a dry heat.
Actually, you know what? There were a few humid days in there.
We did.
Yeah.
We even had some overnight temperatures in the 70s. Not even in the 60s, holding in the 70s overnight. So that
you missed a lot.
You missed a lot. Yeah.
Really,
I was thinking about it.
Catch up.
And our mics were working, believe it or not. You might not believe that one, but anyway. All right, let's go to the weather forecast for today. Things are going to be looking real good. Still warm in the valleys of the Inland Empire, but the temperatures will start to drop down. 71 right now. It's 1 degree warmer than it was yesterday at this time. Though it's going to end up a little bit cooler. Relative humidity up to 75%, and the winds are calm in the downtown area. Almanac, yesterday, our high, 92. Average for this time of the year is 84. Record set 1949 at 103 degrees. The onshore flow will start to kick in. We do have, further down south here, some morning marine layer, but that's going to be burning off quite quickly. And then